The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Friedrich Nietzsche. Here is a cat. Here is another cat, and another cat, and another cat, and another cat. Now, look at all these cats. They are all cats, they all have whiskers and ears and weird little hands, but they are all extremely different. Some cats are really good at hunting large animals. Other cats are really good at defecating on recently cleaned surfaces. Some cats are really social. Other cats hate everything that breathes. Some cats like to play with people. Other cats will literally maul you to death if you look at them funny. Now, imagine you took all of these cats as kittens and threw them into a cramped room with 29 other kittens and one authoritarian adult cat that is meant to teach these kittens everything they will know for the rest of their childhoods. Imagine you taught every single one of these kittens with completely different backgrounds and abilities and passions and dreams to do the exact same thing. Imagine you taught these vulnerable little kittens that if they're not understanding the things being taught, that they're idiots and failures, in spite of the fact that you were teaching a fucking tabby cat to kill a goddamn hippo. Imagine you forced these kittens into constant competition with each other in spite of the fact that some of these kittens were literally designed to do what's being taught and other kittens were meant to be doing something entirely different. Imagine you taught these kittens to do exactly what they are told to do and to do exactly what everybody else is doing and punishing those who ever stand up to or even question their superiors. Imagine you forced them into this situation for the entirety of their youths. Then, after teaching every kitten the same content the same way, teaching them the same ideologies to hold and the same people to listen to and the exact same things to do in their lives, after forcing them to waste their childhoods in this inescapable system, after you do all that to them for over a decade, tell these kittens to go do completely different things with their lives. You will be a doctor. You will be a carpenter. You will be a professional tennis player. You will be a programmer. You will be a politician. And you will be a male stripper. Yes, phenomenal idea. Let's do that. I'm sure all of these kittens totally won't grow up to be miserable for the rest of their lives. I'm sure all of these kittens won't live their lives thinking that they are idiots and failures. I'm sure all of these kittens won't be downright robots that we program to think, talk, act, and dream the same way. I'm sure all of these kittens won't grow up to blindly follow authority no matter how corrupt and evil it is. I'm totally sure that all of these kittens will grow up to be happy, functioning, free-thinking members of the stupid-ass cat society. Goddamn, I'm so fucking bored of this metaphor. You get the goddamn picture, though. Horace Mann is often remembered as the father of American education. He helped establish the Massachusetts State Board of Education. He created the first institution for training teachers. He's essentially the reason our education system is the way it is. Fucking dickhead. I don't really care to say anything more about this guy, and I have no idea how to make this transition make any sense, so just, I don't know. Just look at these stupid memes. So stupid. Anyways, possibly the most influential thing Horace Mann ever did was making the idea of trained teachers teaching a specific curriculum of basic content a reality. Nearly 200 years ago. 200 years ago, people were still blaming STDs on goddamn bad spirits. This system was designed to train factory workers, and we still use it today. The perfect factory worker doesn't think or say or do anything outside of what they are told to think or say or do. Every factory worker is treated and trained the same, almost as if they were robots rather than humans. In fact, robots are the ones replacing factory workers, meaning that the current education system is literally designed to make robots. We are throwing malleable, stupid little kids who half the time haven't even learned how to not piss themselves at night into a system that is designed to create fucking robots. No wonder students are all taught to simply do what they are told without question. No wonder students are only allowed to talk when permission is granted and act in the way that everybody else acts. No wonder the education system teaches students as if they were all the same. In a factory, every worker is the same. In a factory, every robot is the same. If that's not enough to convince you about how barbarous and atrociously outdated our education system is, Frederick J. Kelly, the literal inventor of the standardized test, said, and I quote, "These tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned." The inventor of the standardized test was saying his own invention was too primitive to be used over 100 years ago, and we still use them. 100 years ago, fucking fascism was still in style. Teaching students to live in the past will not prepare them for the future, but it will make them grow up to be very obedient and manipulable. The education system is not designed to prepare students for the future. It is designed to quite literally make students grow up into adults who are ignorant of their own ignorance. It's designed to mechanize human beings. It is against our nature to think and act in a purely robotic fashion, and yet that is what the education system is making us do. It is a flawless recipe for making everybody ignorant, manipulable, and miserable. You know, one thing I gotta really credit the school system for is that it does a really good job of hiding how goddamn evil it is. The education system has a monopoly on knowledge itself, and idiot fodder like you and me were just too stupid to see it. Think about it. School programs us to think and act and dream the same way, the way that it wants us to. Their programming has been incomprehensibly effective. I'll prove it to you. Think of the phrase college dropout. Who do you imagine? Most likely, you are imagining a deadbeat loser who will spend their life being nothing but a failure. If you imagine an idiot failure when you think of the phrase college dropout, you've been programmed to think that way. When you imagine someone who didn't do what everybody else did, you imagine a failure. Subconsciously, that tells you that you absolutely must do what everybody else does, and everybody else simply does what they are told. School instilled that idea into you, and you probably didn't even notice. It would be bad if you noticed. I mean, if a legion of robots understood that they were condemned to spend their life sucking the toes of their superiors, they would revolt. Right? Everybody who blindly agrees with what schools say, who blindly agrees with the idea that if you get bad grades you are a failure, who blindly agrees with the idea that what schools teach is correct 100% of the time, who blindly agrees with the idea that school is the only possible route to success, who blindly agrees with the idea that if you don't do what everybody else does, you are destined for failure, which is almost everybody, is in an intellectual prison and they don't even know it. Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of the greatest authors and thinkers of all time, once said the best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. Anybody who blindly agrees with the ideologies that schools consciously and subconsciously teach is a prisoner that doesn't even know they are in prison, a prisoner that is bound by the shackles of the evil notions that the education system instills in vulnerable and malleable children. If that's not evil, I don't know what is. Blind obedience is what allows tyranny to exist. Blind obedience is what caused the greatest tragedies in history. Blind obedience is what our education system teaches. Holy fuck knuckles, I'm about to have a stroke. This is very not good. I would love to be able to put an optimistic spin on this, but we might be seriously fucked if we don't do something. So let's do something. You may or may not be in a glass prison right now. The glass is clear, you can't see it, but it's there. The thing about being in a glass prison is that you may stay in the prison forever because there's a chance you never find out that you're even in a prison in the first place. However, if you do find out, you'll realize that it's fucking glass. It may be hard to find, but it's easy to break. The way you escape from this intellectual prison is to simply question everything. Question every ideology that school instills in you. Question yourself to see how many of the things you think are nothing but ideas placed in you by the education system to make you more obedient and easier to control. Rebel against rule number 1 of the education system, which is to do what you're told without question. Rebel against this evil system. Don't force yourself to change your ideologies just so you can do better in school. Chase your dreams the way you think is best, not the way the education system tells you is best, because they don't want you to achieve your dreams. They don't want you to be special. They want you to be just like everybody else. They want you to be an obedient robot who does exactly what you are told without question. I want you to be special. I want you to be free. I want you to achieve your dreams, just like any other human with an actual heart would want you to do. So chase your dreams the way you think is best. And if you're a student and you're not doing too well in school, don't think of yourself as a failure or an idiot. You aren't. Probably. Despite what they tell you, you have the potential for success. Don't let them get you down for being different. I'm like you, I don't do amazingly well in school, because I don't care to. I don't trust it. I don't want to be a prisoner. So if you're not doing great, we're in this together and we're going to be okay. So don't worry, you're not stupid, you're not a failure, you're just not the same as everybody else. And that's not just okay, but it's something to be proud of, okay? So yeah, don't be a prisoner, question everything, think for yourself, don't be a robot. Remember, we're all going to die anyway, so you might as well chase your dreams.